Good morning. Thank you for joining with me. We are in A Course in Miracles workbook for students, lesson 195, one of my favorites. Love is the way I walk in gratitude. Footnote 417. This does not mean that love is the manner in which I walk, but rather that love is the pathway I walk, and I do so in gratitude. We can see this in paragraph 8. Walk then in gratitude the way of love. We can also see this in the synonyms for way in this lesson, which include path and road. Gratitude is a lesson hard to learn for those who look upon the world amiss. The most that they can do is see themselves as better off than others, and they try to be content because another seems to suffer more than they. How pitiful and depreciating are such thoughts! For who has cause for thanks while others have less cause, and who could suffer less because he sees another suffer more? And who could suffer less because he sees another suffer more? Your gratitude is due to Him alone who made all cause of sorrow disappear throughout the world. It is insane to offer thanks because of suffering. Footnote 418. Being grateful because you suffer less than others is here called thanks because of suffering. You are thankful because of their suffering. This kind of gratitude, being based on comparisons, is unloving. The lesson, in contrast, stresses that real gratitude is joined to love and therefore makes no comparisons. It thus offers thanks for everyone, even those who walk the way of hatred and the path of death. But it is equally insane to fail in gratitude to one who offers you the certain means whereby all pain is healed and suffering replaced with laughter and with happiness. Nor could the even partly sane refuse to take the steps which he directs and follow in the way he sets before them, to escape a prison which they thought contained no door to the deliverance they now perceive. Your brother is your enemy because you see in him the rival for your peace, a plunderer who takes his joy from you and leaves you nothing but a black despair so bitter and relentless that there is no hope remaining. Now is vengeance all there is to wish for. Now can you but try to bring him down to lie in death with you, as useless as yourself, as little left within his grasping fingers as in yours. You do not offer God your gratitude because your brother is more slave than you, nor could you sanely be enraged if he seems freer. Love makes no comparisons, and gratitude can only be sincere if it is joined in love, or to love. We offer thanks to God our Father that in us all things will find their freedom. It will never be that some are loosed while others are still bound, for who can bargain in the name of love? 419. Matthew 16:19. I will give you the keys of the kingdom of heaven, and whatever you bind on earth shall be bound in heaven, and whatever you loose on earth shall be loosed in heaven. The above passage corrects the notion implied in this Bible verse that some should be loosed while others should be bound. Therefore, give thanks, but in sincerity, and let your gratitude make room for all who will escape with you, the sick, the weak, the needy, the afraid, and those who mourn a seeming loss or feel apparent pain, who suffer cold or hunger, or who walk the way of hatred and the path of death. All these go with you. Let us not compare ourselves with them, for thus we split them off in our awareness from the unity we share with them, as they must share with us. We thank our Father for one thing alone, that we are separate from no living thing and therefore one with Him. And we rejoice that no exceptions ever can be made which would reduce our wholeness, nor impair or change our function to complete the one who is Himself completion. We give thanks for every living thing, for otherwise we offer thanks for nothing, and we fail to recognize the gifts of God to us. Then let our brothers lean their tired heads against our shoulders as they rest a while. We offer thanks for them, for if we can direct them to the peace that we would find, the way is opening at last to us. An ancient door is swinging free again. A long-forgotten word re-echoes in our memory and gathers clarity as we are willing once again to hear. Walk then in gratitude the way of love, for hatred is forgotten when we lay comparisons aside. What more remain as obstacles to peace? Footnote 420. This is a reference to the Obstacles of Peace, text chapter 19, one of the many references to this text section in lessons 170 to 196. The fear of God is now undone at last, and we forgive without comparing. Thus we cannot choose to overlook some things and yet retain some others still locked away as sins. When your forgiveness is complete, you will have total gratitude, for you will see that everything has earned the right to love by being loving, even as yourself. Today we learn to think of gratitude in place of anger, malice, and revenge. We have been given everything. If we refuse to recognize it, we are not entitled, therefore, to our bitterness and to a self-perception which sees us as in a place of merciless pursuit, where we are badgered ceaselessly and pushed about without a thought or care for us or for our future. Gratitude becomes the single thought we substitute for these insane perceptions. God has cared for us and called us son. Can there be more than this? Our gratitude will pave the way to Him and shorten our learning time by more than we can ever dream of. Gratitude goes hand in hand with love, and where one is, the other must be found. For gratitude is but an aspect of the love which is the source of all creation. God gives thanks to you, His Son, for being what you are, His own completion, and the source of love along with Him. Your gratitude to Him is one with His to you, for love can walk no road except the way of gratitude, and thus we go who walk the way to God. I will now read the commentary by Robert Perry and Alan Watson for Lesson 195, July 14th. Love is the way I walk in gratitude. The purpose of this lesson is to learn to think of gratitude in place of anger, malice, and revenge. To let true gratitude replace our ungrateful attitude in which we feel pushed about by the world, and our unloving gratitude in which we thank God that we're better off than others. So our meditation will be at least 5 minutes, ideally 30 or more. Again, we are given no specific instructions. We are only told that today is a day for learning gratitude. This means replacing both our ungrateful attitude and our unloving gratitude with true loving gratitude. Unloving gratitude means being thankful because we are better off than others. Unloving gratitude is of the ego and in comparison. So, which is essentially competitive and therefore unloving. Love makes no comparisons. Loving gratitude thanks God for blessings that He has bestowed on everyone, not just on us. It also means being thankful for all our brothers, even those who walk the way of hatred and the path of death. Gratitude, to me, is not excluding anything. It's all-inclusive. All-inclusive. It's not conditional, all-inclusive, just like love. Given this, you may want to spend the longer practice periods trying in some way to replace your ungrateful attitude and your unloving gratitude with true gratitude. You may want to thank God for the items on the list below. According to the lesson, we should be grateful to Him alone who made all cause of sorrow disappear throughout the world, to One who offers you the certain means whereby all pain is healed, to God our Father, that in us all things will find their freedom, for the sick, the weak, the needy, and the afraid, and those who mourn a seeming loss or feel apparent pain, who suffer cold or hunger, or who walk the way of hatred and the path of death. That we are separate from no living thing and therefore one with Him, for our brothers and for every living thing. That everything has earned the right to love by being loving, even as yourself. That we have been given everything. That God has cared for us and calls us son. You can also thank God for specific blessings you have received, but you must choose to view these as windows onto the non-specific blessings He bestows on everyone. Hourly remembrance, 1 or 2 minutes as the hour strikes. Reduce if circumstances do not permit. Review the happenings of the previous hour that are still weighing on you and let each one go by repeating, "Love is the way I walk in gratitude." Imagine yourself walking on a pathway of love without a care in the world, filled with gratitude toward your Father for the gift of everything. So whenever you feel mercilessly pushed about by the world, repeat the idea, replacing your exasperation with true gratitude, which is justified since God has given you everything. Now this is the commentary by Alan Watson. Gratitude is viewed in this lesson both from a dark side and a light side. The lesson first considers how, so very often when our thinking is aligned with our egos, our gratitude is really a kind of attack on others. Then it goes on to consider sincere gratitude, which can only occur when joined with love. The dark side of gratitude comes from an ego perspective. This is the gratitude that prays, "Thank God I'm not as others. Thank God I am better off." It is the kind of gratitude based firmly on comparisons. It is the thankfulness we feel when we have a bigger house than others, a better car, a more attractive spouse. It is a kind of thankfulness that depends on others who have less, on our perception of that, who suffer more than we do. It comes from a view that sees our brother as the rival for our peace, and rejoices when he is in distress. This kind of gratitude is really nothing more than a form of vengeance, and if we examine ourselves honestly, we will find ourselves indulging in this kind of false gratitude far more often than we realize. True gratitude is something far different. We thank our Father for one thing alone, that we are separate from no living thing, and therefore one with Him. We offer thanks to God our Father that in us all things will find their freedom. It will never be that some are loosed while others are still bound. This gratitude gives thanks for every living thing, for otherwise we offer thanks for nothing. Today I am joyful that the gifts I have received belong to everyone. I am grateful for every living thing, every person I meet. I rejoice that everyone goes with me and that no one is excluded. I am grateful that each of you who reads this is a part of me and that none of you can ever lose your inheritance and so diminish me. I recognize that if anyone is diminished, I am diminished, and I thank God that everything has earned the right to love by being loving. For all is part of myself. Today, if I feel badgered by the world or pushed about without any thought or care for me, I will choose to replace such foolish thoughts with gratitude. God has cared for us and calls us son. Can there be more than this? Another word for gratitude is appreciation. I offer you these thoughts about appreciation from the Course. Only one equal gift can be offered to the equal sons of God, and that is full appreciation. Only honor is a fitting gift for those whom God Himself created worthy of honor and whom He honors. Give them the appreciation God accords them always, because they are His beloved sons in whom He is well pleased. There are no idolaters in the kingdom, but there is great appreciation for everything that God created because of the calm knowledge that each one is part of Him. God knows His Son as wholly blameless as Himself, and He is approached through the appreciation of His Son. Only appreciation is an appropriate response to your brother. Gratitude is due him for both his loving thoughts and his appeals for help, for both are capable of bringing love into your awareness if you perceive them truly. In the holy instant, we share our faith in God's Son because we recognize together that He is wholly worthy of it. And in our appreciation of His worth, we cannot doubt His holiness. And so we love Him. Thank you so much for joining with me in this beautiful lesson of gratitude. Lesson 195. Love is the way I walk in gratitude. I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful for this journey. I'm grateful that we joined together here. Thank you. I love you.